Well, hello again. Welcome back, boat lovers, to week 6 of building Dragonfly, my 53-foot one-man boat building project. A wooden boat, flat bottom, specifically being built to use in sheltered and shallow waters. So this week, what have we been up to? Well, I think I've made quite good progress. I've been working on the stem post. The bulkheads, just started on the bulkheads, as you can see, and really starting to work from the base of the boat up now. So I'm finding that really exciting and quite motivating, because it's easy to get bogged down in all this small stuff at the start, of the foundations or the bottom of the boat, but it is really exciting once we move on and start to build up. So as you can probably hear, it's crazy weather again. Meant to be spring, but it's pouring with rain. The shed is quite warm, so working conditions in here are really fantastic. I can't complain about that. Millie the Wonder Dog has been helping me all week, haven't you, Millsy? Hey? You've been helping, chewing up a few bits of wood, mulching the bits of wood that I don't need, and sometimes ones that I do. But anyway, I'll show you some of the progress that we've made and what I've been up to during this last week. Stay down, down. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. Stay down, down. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. Stay down, down. I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. I've been making some good progress. I glued in the stem post and the knee last night, and that's really exciting for me because that's major progress. So there's our stem post coming down into an oversized knee. That's going to run all the way back to the bulkhead that holds the retractable bow thruster in place. That bulkhead is right there, straight through there. In fact, I line my little model up with the bulkhead. There we go. If we look side on, so that bulkhead goes straight through there. I need to put that in place now because I have to frame up somehow from that front of the wheelhouse up to the stem post to be able to get the shape to put the front sides on. And I need to get all that in place so I can get this retractable bow thruster all made and put in place and make sure it works before I move on to the rest of the boat. It's all a bit of a trial and error situation, but once that's done, I can then drop the rest of the boat down to almost floor level again and have an easier access for working. Plus, if I don't drop it down, the back cabin is going to foul against the top of the mezzanine floor. So once I've got that front section in place, we can drop this whole thing down again to a couple of inches above the floor, just enough to be able to get lifting straps and things underneath it. You may have heard a lot of huffing and puffing from me last week. I had some sort of bug that lasted about 5 or 6 days. I was out of breath, I had a slight temperature, and I shouldn't have been out here working at all, but I've got a boat to build, so I just kind of soldiered on, which was a little bit silly really, but I'm feeling almost 100% back to normal today, and I thought, it's Monday, I'll get back into it. But I'm still taking it slowly and looking after myself so I can get this thing done. Okay, time for lunch. It's quite warm, so I won't need the compressor for the resin today. That should pour out quite well. Last week, not only was I feeling out of sorts, but I stupidly cut all that jarrah without wearing goggles for the whole process. I wore them for most of the time, but just a couple of minutes I wasn't wearing them, and I got a really bad reaction from my eyes and had to go and use all the eye wash and go to the chemist and get drops and all sorts of things like that. So that was a bit silly. I won't be doing that again. Right, I think for this, it's not a big space. So first we'll just wet out the timber. I think I'll just do a little mix of maybe a 75 by 15. And I'll just use bowls for that because it's an easy mix. We'll start with this, see how we go. Oh yeah, that's pouring out very nicely. Oh yeah, there we are, 75. We'll reset that button there and we go for 15. There we go, a little bit extra, not a problem. Just dry the acetone off that. Make sure the brush is dry as well. One thing with acetone, it evaporates so quickly you don't have to worry about things staying wet for very long. This is just a wetting out process to get a good adhesion to the timber, especially the end grain of the plywood. Always good to wet that out. Also good to get your junk out of the way before you start. Right.
Found one of these little bucket guards. I don't know whether you can see down into the bucket, but there's this black plastic thing at the bottom which is actually used for paint. But it's fantastic to put my tools in here, and all the glue and everything sort of dissolves and drops through, but it keeps everything else on the top really clean. So initially I'm doing a glue fillet to hold this in place. Then later I'll come along with some fiberglass tape and tape the joint as well and build the lamination up a bit.
I'm at the bottom of the ocean. I'm at the bottom of the sea. Gonna stay down, down.
I hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please click the like button down below and remember to subscribe. I will see you all again next week.
Of the